I stand in question of Angelica Flores. Angelica Flores. That's the young lady that in fact she attended the same school. Yes, she did. She in fact attended the same school as JHOLIE MOUSSA, right? Which means she's somewhat around the same age as JHOLIE MOUSSA. Somewhere I'm thinking and guessing. So the individual I'm speaking on, before I get into that, like, subscribe in the Discovery channel. Yes, the Discovery channel, the link is provided below. So let's go. Discovery, go. You got it. You heard. So anyways, Angelica Flores, right? This young lady was attending the same school. No, she's not. I'm thinking she's not suspect, and yet I'm making her suspect, right? That ain't no gossip in that. It's just when stuff stand out, I tend to pay attention to that sort of thing, right? Something about that Angelica Flores, I don't know what it is, because see, to go to the same school, to attend the same school as a child that has went missing, and then say you go missing, but it comes to find out that you weren't missing, you were in fact hiding out. Yes, Angelica Flores was in fact hiding. She disappeared. So of course the family and everybody else, yeah, and the center and all that, where she came up missing from, wherever, they put out the missing persons report on her, so everybody could see, right? And so the reason that was supposedly, the reason why supposedly she went missing is it has something to do with gang affiliation, as in Angelica was prone to fall in with gangs and all gangs. Yes, gangs and all the rest, which is supposedly why she was missing. And yet even that looks suspect. I'm saying police and all the rest, FBI, chief of police, all of them tried to say that, because see, look, remember when I spoke on Jolie's ex-boyfriend, and how you have serial killers such as boyfriends, when they put their hands on their girlfriend or their ex-girlfriend they want to be bothered with, they'll keep forcing their way into their ex-girlfriend life until they end up actually killing the ex-girlfriend or something, like, right? So speaking on that, when I spoke on the serial killers, because once again, ex-boyfriends, that's why we have sometimes people such as young women and girls and possibly even children in molestation and all that, where you got random people that just drop dead, right? A lot of times stuff like that be happening because there in fact be serial killers involved. You just don't know that they're there. The serial killer level aspect, because see, to commit a crime, right, to commit a crime and then become suspect, and then police, FBI feel that you might have did it, and yet they can't actually put it on you, as in place the crime on you enough to send you to jail, right? Some people question the reasonable doubt aspect and all this other stuff pertaining to law and all that. There's more up underneath that, as in, yeah, you can't just send somebody to jail. You have to in fact have something there, right? Evidence or whatever. Even if they did kill it and your police, FBI, and feel and sense that they did it, right? You can't just put them behind the four walls of a jail cell. That, yeah. And so that's how individuals in fact become serial killers, because see, they'll have one girlfriend here and they might have another girlfriend on the side, or they have another girlfriend after that and then another girlfriend after that. That's how serial killers in fact get started, because to know that you got away with one crime is to know you can in fact do it again and keep doing it and keep doing it and keep doing it, where it's just randomly happening, possibly even move out of town, move out of state, and continue to do that, killing young females off while you're doing it, and then people can't pinpoint who is doing what and why and the reason, right? And so back to what I was saying about Angelica Flores and her looking suspicious, is because to attend the same school as JHOLIE and then have JHOLIE go missing around the 12th of January 2018, right? She goes missing, right? And then later on it be found out that a young girl such as a name by Angelica Flores attends the same school, and then she goes missing right after, somewhere in February, right? She, once again, police said that there's no connection between the two, right? And yet I gotta drop a plate out of my own to try to figure out, as in scatter through that mess, because just because somebody is saying, see the police is looking at the ex-boyfriend just as much as I am, right? And they're right on that, because he need to in fact die. Dear the love of my other life, possibly the other side, passing over, crossing over. So in hell, that's gonna be me when I die. But yeah, so just because somebody is not connected and all this other stuff, this right here is not gossip. This ain't no gossip channel. This is in fact the questionables, which is what I should have in fact named this channel, because the girl was hiding. Angelica Flores was hiding, and she's alive, and yet it never once was stated the reason why she was hiding. Yes, gangs might have been up under that, but I'm the type of individual, I side eye everything. When stuff take place and it happened in the same location with the same, and why am I saying this? Because see, I have to question people that live in Virginia and say they're from a same city or same county. Fairfax, you're from the same environment in which Angelica Flores was from and JHOLIE MOUSSA was from, right? Those individuals was from the same place, and yet remember, JHOLIE sent a text to her twin and stated that she was going to be going to a party, yes, in Norfolk, Virginia, right? But Angelica, coming to find out after she's located, after she done went missing, Angelica Flores is in fact found in Norfolk, Virginia. You see what I'm saying? The two cases sit side by side, and yet supposedly police, FBI is saying these two individuals ain't connected. And yet once again, when stuff like that, because see, what I would have to do is, if JHOLIE MOUSSA went missing and then she's later found dead in some woods, right? I'm able to connect the dots with individuals that have had nothing to do with it and wasn't there, as in how I'm connecting, yes, right here, between JHOLIE MOUSSA and Angelica Flores. I'm in fact connecting those two, pertaining to connecting the dots and the formulation, and I should, because that's strange in itself. I'm just saying, what that makes me question of, okay, so JHOLIE MOUSSA lived in just listen, because I'm gonna state the point right after, so I gotta repeat this once again, so just pay attention. So JHOLIE MOUSSA is from the Fairfax area, or what is it, Alexandria, around somewhere around that, right? And so you got JHOLIE MOUSSA from there, but then you also got Angelica Flores from there. Okay, so then you got JHOLIE MOUSSA attends, yes, Mount Vernon High School or whatnot. Yes, JHOLIE attends there, as well as Angelica Flores, right? Okay, so then you got JHOLIE MOUSSA. She becomes missing in January. Then her body's found in some woods two weeks after she goes missing, right? She's found in woods after leaves and all the rest at Woodlawn Park or whatnot, right? And then after that, the body being found or whatnot, then you got Angelica the following month, February 17th or somewhere around that time period, earlier February, she goes missing. And then what else? She goes missing, and then she's found in Norfolk, Virginia. But ain't that the same place supposedly where JHOLIE MOUSSA was supposed to end up? Norfolk. So with me connecting the dots like that's where okay, so you're dying, dear JHOLIE, come back to life and let us know what happened, right? So you're dying, you're supposed to go to Norfolk, Virginia, and yet you never made it. You end up dead, right? But then you got some other random individual, such as an Angelica Flores, that goes missing, and when she's found alive by police and all the rest, she's in fact in Norfolk, Virginia, right? And she's alive and healthy and all the rest. And supposedly it comes out because she had ties and all that to gangs. Angelica Flores. but she's alive and well in Norfolk, Virginia. That is odd. Stuff be looking so suspect. I mean, this is the reason why people don't like me, because I be looking at stuff that is not there and yet it is in fact there and yet needs to be called out, right? Because see, for them to not be tied, the point I'm trying to make is the stand question is the stand in question of the questionables. So Jolie being from the area where she was from, and Angelica Flores being from the area of where she was from, right? Them being from the same area, going to the same high school, that would have to make you question how much and how many people travel on foot, no, by car, from say Fairfax, Virginia, or Alexandria, whatever area. I say Fairfax. Are those people consistently going to Norfolk? The people that is in Fairfax or the area where JHOLIE MOUSSA was living and resided and came up missing and found dead, that's the question. Do a large percentage of those people just randomly up and go up or consistently go to Norfolk, Virginia in the travel? And do they at that age? Because that other individual, Angelica Flores, she once again is around Jolie's age, because remember, they went to the same high school, right? But I just want to question that, because see, the Fairfax, Virginia and Norfolk, Virginia is about 2.5 hours away from one another, which is why you want to question that as well. Well, how consistently is people being in Fairfax, residing in Fairfax, living in Fairfax, and all the rest? And how often would those individuals just jump in the car, hop in the car, and go to a Norfolk, Virginia, right? Did I say that already? That's 2.5, 3 hours away. Did I say that before? From Fairfax, Virginia to Norfolk, Virginia, that's about 3 hours away. 2.5 going into 3 hours, right? And so you, in fact, will want to question that. Because, see, I'm in fact, not only am I connecting the dots with this, I'm in fact tying two individuals together despite them not knowing one another. Angelica Flores, the missing female that's now alive, and JHOLIE MOUSSA that's dead. I'm in fact tying those two individuals together. Some people don't even know how to do that. Hey, love, that's my baby right there. Shouts out to a player, Cyrita. I love that woman without even knowing her. If you didn't know, you're about to find out. But yeah, I'm tying those two individuals together because I said before, this ain't no gossip channel, and yet something ain't. Because see, what that will make me do if I was FBI and all the rest is to dive much more deeper under that. Just because somebody, okay, so they came out and said that the two individuals wasn't connected, Angelica and Jolie, and I'm going back and I'm repeating again, and I should, because that's a proponent as well as in what you want to point out and look out for if you work with team police and FBI, to see if the two individuals could have connected, because that is so odd and strange for an Angelica Flores to be around the same age as JHOLIE MOUSSA and then go into hiding and pick Norfolk, Virginia, of all places to go do it. That is so weird. That's why I asked the consistency about people when they travel. When people just say, oh, I go in hiding and go to Norfolk, Virginia. Is that a common place that people just go to? I understand that it's populated and surrounded with people, which may be why the young individual could have went there, Angelica Flores, to go hide away from her gang ties or whatever, right? Norfolk is more likely populated with people, jungles of people, which will help you blend in. But not only that, maybe she had family or somebody there or something that she possibly told not to call police or anything. That's kind of against the law. It is, but that's something weird. So you're going to be gang affiliated, gang tied in relation, Crip blood or whatever she was in, possibly worse, right? Because she looks Mexican, so I know they get to bringing out the knives and all the rest. Hell, I bring out knives myself. depending on the menstrual flow. That's a joke, yet it is. But yet, so that's just so odd. That is completely standing questionable. That don't seem, because see, gang war stands in that, as in when you got ties to all the rest. Yes, gang wars. When you're in a gang or affiliated with a gang, but then that's the question: how close could JHOLIE herself have been tied to gangs? You would in fact want to question that as well. You want to question that as well. I'm going to stand and question that for my wife, Cyrita. Did you know my last name is in fact Stewart? For all y'all that didn't know, I got married. My last name is Moussa, Stewart, and all the rest. Haters don't know, they know. Yeah. Yes, Angelica. My last name is. Quit hating. Them haters out there be hating. They do. My last name is in fact Cyrita Stewart Moussa JHOLIE. You get that? That's my last name. Cyrita Stewart. Hold on. Pause. I gotta throw Discovery in there as well. Cyrita Discovery Stewart JHOLIE. That's my last name. Shouts out to a player. Haters get so mad. They do. Okay, so shouts out to CC. I meant to say that as well. I ain't forget CC out there. I know CC possibly dead up underneath the bed as well. I'm saying CC probably out there standing up straight in the coffin. Holla, shouts out to you, player. I'm saying CC can take jokes. Hell, CC can take the mood swing as when it's swinging all through this camera on my end. When I be going off because somebody done ticked me off, let me tell you, that seem to be the only time when I seem to be going off. I go off for days on end. Yes, I do, and get the contact and FBI and all the rest. When I'm pissed off, just to scream in their ear to let them know how pissed off I can be. They already know. I'm saying that hotline, that is funny. That is funny, and yet it is when it come to FBI, how they got that number that you call or whatnot to let them know what's good, right? When somebody come up missing or whatnot, when I be screaming at the phone on the hotline of FBI how I'm pissed off, and I'm dragging somebody by they loose strings. I mean hair strings, hair weave, cause yeah, they getting on my nerves. I'm about to put it to them, dear FBI. They know. That's who you call when you have a moose. When you get on the phone with FBI and just let loose, scream and everything else, right? But Angelica, this individual right here, she went missing and was later found. Fairfax County Police Department. She's cute, right? But I'm saying that don't mean I'm looking at her like I want her like that. I'm just complimenting. Gosh, people can't take a joke. It's Sunday, go to church. And that, dear same sex, and the Obama, and possibly Trump, I don't know. I don't take sides. Anyway, so she goes missing, and then that's just so odd, because see that you want to in fact look at that as well. You don't want to let that type of thing, because you want to see, well, you would in fact want to know. I don't know. That's not to say, because see what that will make me question if the girl, okay, because see, look, gangs are known to be big, as in formulated, as in where they in fact be living and all that other stuff in the surrounding area and possibly outside of the surrounding area, right? Gangs, which is maybe she had a gang family living in Norfolk or something that even she knew of to go stay and hide out or something, as in possibly a gang relative or a gang, maybe not even relative by blood, maybe just somebody, a member of the same gang she was with. told her to come stay and hide out in Norfolk, Virginia. I just be looking at stuff. I side-eye everything because that don't make sense. I don't know. How big can a gang get? And not only that, what that will make me question, I go all the way in. I told you I'll be hated. You might in fact one day find me on Discovery where I'm dead and gone and laid to rest. And if that happened pertaining to how I speak in my mouth, what I want is Discovery. They gon' hear this. Shouts out to you, playa. Cause Discovery watch everything, including their own. As in when their logo is on it. So yes, cause I work for them. Didn't I say that? Hey. But that type of stuff, see, if I die and I'm laid to rest, I want that printed out. You see that Discovery logo that was just sitting there? I want that, yes, layered on my casket. Layered on my casket. And possibly for even them to pay for the funeral. Discovery, I'm saying. Ain't no way I'm going to serve on Discovery and they ain't going to pay for my funeral. Quit playing. But yeah, that is crazy. That's odd in itself. I don't know. Because see, what that makes me start the question is, could Jolie's ex-boyfriend been connected to some gang and gang war, despite him being abusive? Because usually those type of individuals, not all of them, but the young ones, sometimes when they have violent tendencies, sometimes those be the first individuals that want to go run and join a gang to take out their anger on somebody else and team up with some sorry, sad losers. If Angelica is a part of a gang, she's a loser as well. I gotta say it. That ain't no soft. You call losers out. Because see, many of them individuals in fact fuck up society all the way. That's why I say what I say. And then we gotta clean up the mess, such as cleaning up burials and all that other stuff, right? You gotta call a loser out as they see, as you see fit, and I see fit. But that would in fact make me question. That just don't seem right. I wonder how far you gotta be a bold figure to be going up underneath the cloth. The cloth. And I don't know, I'm not saying a prayer cloth. No, hell no. I didn't go to church this morning. I'm in with the Jews. They might put me to death for that. Shouts out to the ADL. But yeah, that is off the hook. I'm Jewish myself. I just ain't know until I sign on a dotted line. That's what happens. Sell your soul. But yet that's off the hook. That don't make sense. Okay, so let me think. If Jolie's boyfriend would have been a member of a gang, would Jolie's boyfriend, first off, you want to question, did Jolie's ex-boyfriend go to the same school as both of these two individuals? The ex-boyfriend that was abusing and knocking her lights out, Jolie's. I should in fact put him to death myself. I'm saying stupidity, because he do need that scum of the earth. Call it as you see. That's a waste of space. I was on Twitter last night thinking about how some of these waste of space individuals need to find a compact disposal as in a throwaway plot. But yeah, you would in fact want to ask that. Could Jolie's and I'm the only one allowed to do this, the scientific figure and reasoning. Could Jolie's ex, because look, she's a fine individual. She's sexy in the face. Not right there where she's beat up. Where she's completely beat up right there. Looking all whatever, right? But could Jolie's boyfriend have had ties to gang affiliation and gang war and all the rest? And go for an individual such as this pretty face right here sitting on this, yes, the photo op. The photo op. That you would have. Some people don't know how to tie stuff together, as in stringing stuff together, as I'm stringing you along. I don't think this young individual had anything to do with Jolie's death, right? And yet to be an example, as a show you, as in teach you how to, yes, tie things together, the stringing together in a long aspect, or where you want to question. Because even FBI sometimes, and police and all that, Because see, a lot of times when people go missing in the first place, local police, such as a Fairfax, yes, police department, Fairfax County Police Department, they're more on the local, and they're not FBI, right? So they're gonna, when they question, they're gonna question more local, as in they're not going to expand the question, as in diving much more deeper, as in who this individual could be. They're just gonna go by word of mouth of who she is, right? I'm saying police are known to do that sort of thing because they're not FBI. They just help. Police a lot of times just help find people and all that other stuff, or put them in jail. But they don't go up under with FBI. Well, who is this person? Why are they there? What could be the connection with this and this and that? What could be the reason behind that? Matter of fact, FBI would want to know what I'm speaking on. They wouldn't just let this young child walk away. She ain't a young child. She's around somewhere around JHOLIE Moussa's age. They wouldn't just let her walk away. Because I know if I was working for FBI, I wouldn't. I would still be questioning. She wouldn't even know. Who is she? Why was she there in the first place? Why was she at that center wherever she chose to walk away from? How close, if JHOLIE's ex-boyfriend was known to be abusive, those sort of individuals are also prone and known to cheat as well. Cheats on their lover, right? And to cheat is a lot of times to do it undercover. The secrecy aspect of you cheating on somebody you're supposed to, yes, be in love with, and yet they kind of don't want nothing to do with you. And yet I'm thinking and guessing JHOLIE was kind of back and forth despite her taking out a restraining order against her ex, right? She was still around him or whatever, right? That is still going to make me question this individual, this young lady. I just don't let people just go off and walk free, tell me some whatever, and then they just go off, because that don't make sense. You don't know. Because I was like, why would she need to go hide that far out? And Norfolk. What I was trying to think and say was, did the girl, because see, what she could have did, she could have told her family. She could have personally told her family. That's where this don't add up. The girl could have literally, okay, was she living at the center? I'm still thinking she got family members somewhere or something. Connecting the dots. I'm thinking, okay, well, if you're at a center in which she was and she left from, this individual right here. Okay, so you may or may not be close with your family, which could be why you were in fact in the center in the first place, right? Angelica Flores, right? But it's still to say you know more people or something. Everything is questionable. She may not have wanted to be at the center. Yes. She might have wanted to just run away. Yes. Some people, in fact, stay at homeless shelters, stay at centers, no longer want to be there. And so they, in fact, run away and use other excuses such as gang ties and all the rest. That could, in fact, be this scenario where she was staying somewhere, staying with some people or something, no longer want to be there and lied, because young individuals do that too. Use one excuse of why they're running away and then come to find out it's something else, but they just didn't tell police. And FBI and all the rest don't know about it. To be at some place you don't want to live or stay or whatever, or be going to, such as a center, it's a note you ain't gonna want to be there. And so you more likely might run away and use something else, such as a gang relation or gang ordeal or something. Because to be at a center is to ask, why are you there in the first place? Because she looks real beat up in the face despite her. That's why it helps to be real some time of the day. These chicks putting on this hair and makeup, and then yet when real fall out is to say, there it is. Not my love up above, no. Angelica Flores, her photo looking all beat and banged in the face. By birth, I'm saying. The natural without all that hair, makeup, and weave is to face yourself in that, as into what you have did and done. And stand up straight while you're doing it. Because I'm military as well. Some people don't know. But yeah, so that's off the hook. Because yeah, you want to question why you're at the center. Why was she at the center? And what excuses she may or may not have used. Because she could have said gang relation and she could have been lying about that. You don't know. Or maybe that is in fact a fact. Maybe she ticked off somebody pertaining to some gang she's in tied relationship with or something. But yeah, I don't, I bring all three scenarios to the photograph and not draft with that. As in that etching nothing out, because my love above is there. Shouts out to CC again. That's crazy. Who wouldn't do that? Who wouldn't tie these two people together and just let her go off? Because see, this girl, you don't ever even know. She could have had played a part in that, as in Jolie's death, and not saying. She could have played a part in Jolie's death because, see, I kept wondering why was where did the ideal, I was wondering and questioning from the beginning with this individual, where did the ideal come from of her going missing? Did it come from Jolie going missing? Because remember, Jolie came up missing around mid-January. Somewhere around the 12th of January, Jolie came up missing, right? Being from the same school as this other individual, right? And then a month later, because this girl, the girl in fact had went missing for around a month or something like that. Angelica Flores. She hid out for that because you want to ask, why are you hiding out that long? Why are you hiding out that long? Because that don't make sense. I'm thinking whether a person stay in a shelter or center, whether a person stay in a shelter or center or whatever else, they would still want to contact family and loved ones or something for a missing person thing to not be made. It just seemed like it's something more up under that. I don't know. Angelica Flores. It seems like something much more is deeper up underneath that. So you go run away from a center or wherever, right? And then you might have family somewhere or even a friend or something. That is questionable. I don't even know in itself. Because I just question a center, why she more likely wouldn't have wanted to stay there. Not everybody likes to live in centers and shelters, right? And yet that's still, I'm still thinking she had to have borrowed the ideal to go missing or something from JHOLIE MOUSSA. Who didn't recognize that? That's a call out. That is in fact a complete call out, as in what I'm calling out. That ideal of her doing that, because I'm thinking to myself, maybe she's seen in the news, because remember, all kids talk as well as all teachers talk and all the rest. So more likely that was a discussion at the school, such as these two individuals at their school. That had to be the first discussion after Jolie's body was found. That had to be the discussion amongst all classmates and all the rest. And yet to want to say just go disappear is to say, well, maybe I'll do that. Such as a copycat, but not fully. Because if you copycat a girl going missing and you acting like you missing, is to say you're going to have to kill yourself possibly, and even that. And she may want to if she's in gangs and all that, because that's how, look, when I speak real, I speak all the way real, as delving deeper. If you in a gang, you in fact might want to kill yourself if y'all not doing certain things. Because look, gangs a lot of times involve knives, baseball bats, gloves, blood, pulling out a rifle, possibly a shotgun, a 9mm. These gangs need to in fact be more useful to society than they are. Which could be why they're gangs, because they're rebels. And yet I'm a rebel myself, as in I go against the law and have been known, and yet I play my part as in what I need to do, even in being a rebel. To be a rebel is to do it right, scientifically, and being specific at that okay, you do wrong, as in you don't obey the law pertaining to your mouth. How I was cussing out police officers. Depending on today, I might do the same. You never know, depending on what county and how they come at me. That's in fact going against the law, how I do stuff, right? As in me saying stuff the way that my mouth is in fact a vehicle. It's going to drive forward as it chooses and pleases, and I don't care who is there, and I don't always respect the title, right? But I still got to play mount myself here and play my part to society, even being a rebel. You don't half step on a half ass. Does that make sense? You don't be a half ass half stepping. We got too much of that in the world. So them individuals in fact need to be killed off. Those that's in gangs. Give to charity and all the rest. And if you're gonna give to charity, if you are a gang leader or a gang member and y'all members amongst yourself, give to charity. Be a philanthropist. Yeah, a philanthropist. Do that. Give back to society. And when y'all shooting each other, don't let innocent bystanders and bypassers get shot dead in all y'all corruption, is what I'm trying to say. Which is why many gang members need to in fact die off. And die completely, because they don't do that. They don't look out for other people. They just look out for themselves as they're committing crimes and all the rest. And shooting and killing people. Yes, with that. In the gang war. As it's happening. Somebody walking past and get their lights blown out because they done accidentally gotten away. But yet, so... Because look, my thing is, somebody might say, don't put her on camera. Well, fuck you as well. Because you's a dumb fuck. Possibly need your lights blown out. These dumb fucks that come on my stuff trying to tell me what to do with even that. You just don't know. My connections. Shouts out to the FBI. But yet that is off the hook because see, that ain't gonna work. She just can't. That don't make sense. I in fact need to show her this individual because she's in ties with gangs. So she needs to be, showed again, just in case she in fact ends up in jail. In a two-piece. As in with her fighting some other gang member as it's happening in jail. And getting a two-piece such as these hands right here. Of what gang members like to do even in jail. I'm saying if this young individual don't fall out of line with some gang and war and all that other stuff, is to say she might in fact go to jail. Because that's what it leads up to. This is a lesson, a life lesson. That's off the hook. Let me go back and see something. Angelica Flores. You really want to go that far? NORFOK to hide out? It's so many all type of surrounding areas in that area where this young individual could have hid. That just don't make sense. I'm just wondering. But I would love to know what other type of girlfriends Jolie's ex-boyfriend had. His girlfriends. Ex-girlfriends, girls he had crushes on, girls he was in love with. May have not known, girls he possibly had sex with and nobody knows. You don't never even know. I pay attention because see, my mama be checking me. Look, I got Mexicans in the family, right? Flores is in fact Mexican or Latin or Latina or whatever you want to call it, right? I got those type of individuals in my family, and I know they will in fact stab you and gut you in the process. They do all type of things and not just do that sort of thing, right? And leave you for dead, right? And so, in me saying that, it is too, where I'm tying them both together, is to question Jolie's ex-boyfriend once again. What all type of females was he involved with, such as having sex? Just because police and all them want to say these two things ain't connected, they possibly could be. Because see, that young individual could have been seeing or having sex or wanted Jolie's ex-boyfriend or something, or been sleeping around sexually with Jolie's ex-boyfriend. She more likely may or may not be able to handle her jealousy, which could be why JHOLIE MOUSSA is dead. I wonder if police ever considered that. You don't want to just question something halfway. You want to question all the way, which is why I'm sitting here questioning these people and their motive and position on why they do things. Hiding away to NORFOK. And then somebody else is dead. And then because see, look, police will want to say, I'm going back again, I'm repeating, I done repeated this 3-4 times. Police will want to say these two individuals, JHOLIE MOUSSA and Angelica Flores, are not completely They said that they were not connected, their cases or whatnot, right? And yet I'm looking all the way at that ex-boyfriend, despite, you see what I'm saying, of me standing in the middle and possibly looking at ex-boyfriend right eye to eye. That's me right there. Shouts out to OG. Me looking at an ex-boyfriend, I'm standing right in the center, just like an ex-boyfriend was standing in the center, as you got one individual such as an Angelica Flores alive, and you got another individual, JHOLIE MOUSSA, that's dead. Because people have sex all the time with other individuals, right? They have many multiple women as they're doing it, and sometimes people can't handle their jealousy and that, just enough to want to kill somebody off them, and then get rid of the body or whatever, or they play a part with an ex-boyfriend. You don't even know how people do things. You don't even know how people do things, and then go hide off, despite the ex-boyfriend not hiding off. The ex-boyfriend never went and hid anywhere. Because see, Angelica Flores more than likely had nothing to do with the situation, and yet you still want to question. You don't want to see my mind, man, the abstraction of my mind. I see life as a Rubik's Cube, and I should. As in where I go undetected. I'm saying that is off the hook. Not with people coming up missing, but solving the case. And even me saying what I gotta say to FBI on even that. That is off the hook. Because see, that is not going to work. You mean to tell me that's off the hook? That is completely off. You mean to tell me, okay, so somebody is going to just walk free. People, they don't use their mind enough. People don't use their mind up. They're strengthening and stretching, and even that as in a mind, or where you stretch your mind out in exercises. What did I just do? I just in fact served to you a mental exercise. It's called mental gymnastics. You're exercising your mind just enough to think, could that sort of thing have taken place? Angelica being alive, and JHOLIE MOUSSA being dead, and NORFOK and all that being on the map. And then police, whatever, not questioning the up underneath that girl, Angelica. Oops. I'm not looking for no pages. That ain't her, I don't think. That's not going to work. Yeah, cause that is not going to work. Am I on the wrong thing? Because that don't make sense. What is going on with YouTube? Didn't I say YouTube was gonna be changing? They always doing something extra. Because to say that I'm looking for somebody don't mean I want to be doing all this and that. Let me pause right quick. Those are my videos. When I type in JHOLIE's name, those in fact are all my videos. Aviva Films is in fact, yes, mine. Except for this video, that right there is not mine. But all the other ones, these right here, are in fact mine. I like to line them up in the lineup. But yeah. Ooh, my wife. Hey, love. CC put me on. That's a lead in itself. It is. Because I be having so much stuff to do. Oh, shouts out to the Crime Feed as well. Crimefeed.com. That's part of us, Discovery. Why does JHOLIE stuff come up like that and yet Angelica's doesn't? Let me put that back in. That's to say she wasn't missing. That, hold on, she was missing for long, but not that long. But I'm thinking you still would. That don't make sense. What is going on with the world? Okay, so Angelica Flores goes missing for a month. The child goes missing for a whole month, right? And she's found alive, and yet when you go into YouTube, you can go into Google, right? And her story and all the rest is there. But when you go into YouTube, I'm thinking the local news would have did some coverage or something on that individual. Of some kind. And yet I don't even see nothing. What is going on? People need to... maybe that's why I'm sitting on here. You never know. I'm saying. You never know. Because, see, for me to be with Discovery is to say I can do what I feel. They know how I can get reckless in the mouth. But pertaining to even that, remember, when I get on here and I do this, I'm in fact doing it in my free time. Didn't I say that? I'm in fact doing this in my free time, right? And yet, to be with Discovery, it is to be told what to do. I'm saying as in when you say stuff and you say stuff back to them or whatever, they're going to in fact check you as well, right? Hell, everyday human beings do that sort of thing, trying to check, right? And yet, Discovery, even that's their job with that, because remember, to have a logo on something and have it sit there is to say you in fact represent, yes, company, organization, and all the rest, right? But pertaining to even me doing stuff in my free time, and when I say I like to use my free time wisely, whereas most people don't, because to not see missing children all over this platform is to say, where are they at? That don't make sense. Because, see, there should have been some news coverage on even Angelica Flores outside of the news print on Google. There should in fact be something in video where I can in fact click it and go there and see. That's suspect as well. It is. Something about that ain't right. So you go missing, dear Angelica Flores. You go missing for a whole month. And yet right after JHOLIE MOUSSA has went missing, and yet nowhere on here do I even see you on here in the YouTube search or your story as a crew whoever filming that sort of thing. Something, because a whole month to be missing, and yet there's nothing outside of the print. There's nothing in the video form. It's to say the news crew need to get it together as well. Maybe I need to teach them, because by the time I'm telling you, using free time, by time I stamp Discovery all over YouTube and all over Google is to make even them, that news crew, know how to act. Stuff like that makes me angry and bitter. It does. Because Angelica case, her case was in fact fake, or whatever was going on with that. To be fake is a say. If you can't, that is so fake. The more that I think about it. Okay, so you're gonna serve in a gang war, and yet you're gonna try to go untouched by hiding away in Norfolk instead of facing that gang. That's a fake, flawed individual, and me being flawed is to call that out. You shouldn't be fake, because see, to be fake is to go serve, yes, in a gang or something like that, in which Angelica Flores has did or something, hiding out. That's signs in itself. Even if she lies to police and say, oh, I'm not in the gang, it shows for itself. Because see, real people such as myself, if I was ever tied in a gang, let me tell you, as God is the witness, if I was ever in a gang, I will be dead right here, right now. Because how I say stuff. My mom is the same way, which is where I get it from. That's a curse. When I told her the other day, you've cursed me. And I got real angry because how I think and process my mind. I'm divided down the middle. I got some of my dad ways. That's the intellectual INTJ of solving and all that other stuff, because my dad had an electrical engineering degree. Many people don't know that about my dad. He had an electrical engineering degree, but he died in jail later on. He in fact served in Vietnam, right? But with my mother, she was known to cuss people out back in the day, police and everybody else, which is where I get that from, right? So with me saying it is Angelica Flores being fake. I gotta in fact say that on this camera, because she need to see this as well, as in her going into the search and say, oh my gosh, that's my name. despite them being other Angelica. Should I put Norfolk on there? I might in fact need to put Norfolk just so she can see it. But yet, because you in fact, dear Angelica, you are in fact fake. You need to see my eyes in case you want to come brutally kill me. And even saying that, you might in fact want to be on Deadly Women if you played any part in the mess. Because see, that's so fake to be in a gang and then go hide. Who does that? Because see, that lets you know that she's not a real OG. She ain't a real OG is what I'm trying to say, Angelica Flores. How could she ever be a real OG? I got in fact stunned on that. My daddy was a pimp back in the 70s, no lie. Anybody that want to know some stories on my daddy, I'm getting real live on the coverage. My father was in fact a full-fledged pimp back in the 70s. He wore suits and ties, and yes, he drove a Cadillac Eldorado, 1976, all gold to be specific. There's no lies in that. I usually don't speak on this. I don't even speak about my daddy, and yet I should. Pertaining to even his street ties, of which he had, and he served in the street. My father, how he was a pimp to prostitutes, full-blown prostitutes. Ask my mama, she will break it down to a science, even for you. In the registration, right? My father was a pimp. Had numerous. Mention my father, it comes all the way out to the fact that even today, grown men wanted to be my daddy. That's in fact a truth. Twitter know. Go ask Twitter. They know about my daddy. What I done let them know. Him rolling up in the Cadillac Eldorado. That's off the hook, right? And so I be speaking and knowing pertaining to even sex trafficking to a percentage. Because to have a father that has pimped women is to know what in fact be going down. And I'm a smooth operator at that, as in the way that I talk. That's where I get my talk, my smooth talk, when I can smooth talk. I get it from my dad. And yet the cussing out I get from my mom. But that individual, Angelica Flores, is in fact fake. And that needs to be said. Because see, my father dying, that's a real OG to die in jail. My dad, in fact, died in jail. So to die like that is to serve time and do what you did and then die in the end where you did, right? It's to say that's a real OG. My dad dying in jail like that. He was in fact supposed to serve 33 years. My dad. Me and my dad was more close than me and my mom, me growing up. Because remember, to be a daddy girl, a lot of times little boys cling to their mom where little girls cling to their dads. So I was a daddy's girl. That's how it usually is. And so me and my dad was real tight like this. So I was real deep in grieving when I found out, when I got the call, he was dead in behind a jail cell area facility, right? And so to serve 33 years, that's in fact OG. That's what real G's do. And so Angelica Flores could never be a real OG. That in fact needs to be stated. That's not only my testimony, but that's to call out fake people as well. As in when they think they're being a part of some gang or gang affiliation, and yet they can't face themselves enough to face up in gang war, as in put yourself out there for you to be possibly shot and dead as you're serving in the gang, and yet you going off running pitter-pattering in the night. You're going off running pitter-pattering into the night to run away to Norfolk, Virginia, after you done served in some gang or something. That's to say you're fake. Because real OGs would in fact die in that, or something. They would in fact fight their way out of that, is what I'm trying to say. I ain't never served in no gang. I'm too OG for even that. Because people know my mindset. They know. They be trying to correct me on Twitter. Don't say this. Don't say that. Don't say this. Please don't say that. No, because even if I was a gang, that other whatever tribe or whatever on the other side, I will kill all them off. I will make a way, as in make do. Be served. Because I don't play that. Remember, my dad was an OG since the beginning of time. There's more to even that, as in the history of where my father was in fact blocked from leaving, as in not allowed to leave out certain cities and states once he committed crimes. That's a real OG, not some fake flawed Angelica Flores. That's completely fake. Because see, yeah, that's not gonna work. My father has in fact killed somebody. Yes, that is in fact a true statement. which could be why I'm serving with discovery. Who knows, right? ID pertaining to that. Families, they in fact have secrets, and that's just happened to be one of those things. My father in fact killed somebody. Yes, he did. There's secrets in that. I wonder if my mom knew. My aunt knew. Because that was the discussion. You said what? Yes, my dad did. He in fact killed somebody. That's what happens. But he didn't serve no time for that. You see what I'm saying? How people get away on foot. But yeah, my dad is dead. But yeah, that just don't, that's not gonna work out. Because see, to try to be a OG in some gang is to face yourself with that, as in stop running away places and stand up in front of those other, yes, what is that, territorial ground. Stand up and face them other individuals you're in war with. But if you can't do that, then you're not a real straight OG. That's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. That's a no-go. That shows you what is in fact fake. That shows you what is in fact fake. That's completely fake. There's nothing there. There's nothing beyond all that. That's complete. I'm in disbelief. Not just with her, but many of them. You're gonna serve and you're gonna be in a gang, and be having gang affiliation and gang ties. Trust and believe Angelica Flores is not saying more, as in she is in fact, yes, in a gang, and it's just not telling police that sort of thing, right? She has to be in a gang, because to be hiding off somewhere is to be all in that. Ain't no everyday individual is not going to have ties to a gang and yet go hide. The only time a person go hides is if they're in fact in the gang itself, gang war and all that. Because that was a lie. That was in fact a lie on the coverage when I first read that. Well, she's gonna go hide because she's supposedly affiliated. No, she's more likely in a gang. Let that be said, and let it be said loud, because that's not gonna work. The lying on her end, Angelica Flores. She's in fact in a gang. She has to be. I speak for all type of individuals. They can come and get me if they want to choose, because I already said it before. My mama is silly because it was some lady way back in the day that used to carry a gun, a shotgun or something like that, 9mm, way back in the day. She was black, and everybody knew who she was, but she wasn't a celebrity. But you know how it'd be like old stories, not like Harriet Tubman, but kind of like that too. My mom cracked a joke about that on me, saying how a close family friend was saying that about me, because I can go all the way there, as in pull out a gun or a shotgun rifle at any time of the day. With that, pertaining to who might want to check me, because that is in fact not gonna happen. That's not gonna ever happen. It just don't. Because remember, I'm on the lookout in the safety of my own end. That's why I have to talk the way that I do, as in me being able to state my piece in my front, as in how I can be, pertaining to what I might pull out, a 9mm or anything else, a knife, an axe. I tell that story how I was gonna pull out a knife on my brother. That's in fact it. I'm gonna put that in another video, so even he can see it, when I was gonna pull out a butcher knife on my brother, because I don't play that. My dad, what happened, my dad was in fact dead, and I had got the phone call, and my brother wanted to get at the mouth with me, as in play games. He didn't want to take me to the airport, because I was living out in Virginia myself, and I asked my brother to take me to the airport so that I can get back, yes, to have a proper burial and all the rest for my dad. And my brother in fact wanted to play games, so I was going for that butcher knife. He in fact had to hold me to the floor. That's a real life story. That's a real life story. My brother was about to get gutted. Shouts out to Discovery. That's a real life story, as in the way I used to be. And yet I had to calm that down over the years, because you could in fact serve time for that, and yet I would have not cared even back then. I slightly don't even care today. Because more than likely, I'm the type of person, if I go to jail, I'm going to get in there and go to college while I'm in there sitting there. That's just how I think. Repercussions. Repercussions can come out of anything in which you do. Even a poor choice. If I wanted to stab my brother over him playing around and playing games with me pertaining to my father being dead, laying there in a jail cell, and me needing to make my way back to the same city and state so I can bury him. As in me needing to get to the airport, my brother not wanting to take me. Oh, I was about to gut my brother. That was in fact a story for days by his friend. His friends. Not just one friend, many friends, because they came and asked me, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe you did that. Yes, it was about to take place, because I don't play that. I am not, I'm completely, I don't do all that. But yeah, that's off the hook. This girl right here, she's not real. She's in fact fake. Because I'm sorry if I hurt her feelings, because if she's really a gang member and she's really live on the coverage and footage of being a gang member, Angelica Flores, then she can face what I just said, as in what I just told. You ain't real. You fake. You fake. Dear bitch, you fake. That's in fact a true statement. Aw, look at JHOLIE. She was so adorable. You fake, because see, that ain't gonna work. You what? No, because real OGs come real problematic is what I'm trying to say. A real OG on the frontal piece comes completely problematic if there's any problems or issues involving a gang and retaliation. As in what they're gonna break out, whip out, and all the rest. They ain't gonna go run into no NORFOK. That's not gonna happen. No. Because, see, a real OG knows there's loyalty to the grave, is what I'm trying to say. A real OG know that loyalty resides, yes, in a grave. As in when you know you step foot becoming and having ties to a gang, and you're serving in a gang, and know you could possibly die while you're doing it. And yet you're going to stand there and take it, even if it's markings as in somebody wanting to kill you. The loyalty aspect. That's to show this chick don't have no loyalty. Because see, look, something about this ain't right. Something about this is completely not right. Because if you affiliated in connection to gangs is to say, well, where are they? Ain't they supposed to have your back unless they fake too? Maybe that's the issue. Maybe this individual, Angelica Flores, was in a gang and she turned towards her own gang or something. Something is weird and off about even that individual. Something is not right with that. Because see, no individual, I just said that, no individual is going to go run and skip town pertaining to something that was some gang or something. They're not gonna even do that. Even if there's a member that done got in a fight with this chick or something like that, that's still not gonna happen, because you still got to go back home. After the animosity has been started, I'm saying. That individual, she still has to go back home. So what's the difference? You should have faced them anyway. Which tells you that the story is off or something. Something about the layering of this story is completely off. And even I'm able to recognize something is not right about the story. Trying to see what that is. Okay, so you go run away because there's some gang affiliation. And yet it's the question, well, who's the gang? Where does she fit in as being a member in the gang? What type of animosity, drama, or whatever was started pertaining to even that to make her scatter away like roaches? And where is all the gang ties? Because see, to be surrounded, something about that is off. Her story is off. There's lies in it. I'm sitting it right there just enough for you to see. Because to have ties to a gang is to say when you try to go whatever, right? That's something about that is off. I don't know. Her story. Unless she had ties to the gang and was in on the gang, and like I said before, Norfolk, Virginia, she could have went there to stay with the gang. As in the extended family member gangs that sometimes live on the outskirts and all the rest, just enough for her to run away and go missing away from that center or what she was at and came up missing. Something about her story is off or something. I don't know. Strange in itself. Because to be affiliated with a gang and then leave out a center or something is to say, okay, the center, let me go back. To ask what type of center was she staying at. Was it for kids that was in trouble or for drugs? Because my thing is, why didn't she just tell the center, look, I'm not coming back or something? There's more to that or something. Why not just tell the center, look, I ain't coming back for a few days or something? Oh, she was at a juvenile facility. If you don't know what the juvenile facility is, what she was trying to be a runaway from her own criminal history. Shelter care. What's that? Because I like to look all into. Even if I'm wrong, I like to look all into. Let me tell you. Just to make sure we clear what's wrong with this website. Shelter care. Shelter care. Hold on. I just seen it. Facility. VA. Let me try something real quick. Did my internet stall out? Did you see that? I'm gonna have to reset that because that ain't gonna work. Yes, I have technical issues on my side as well. Who don't? That is odd. I had to test on that because it does sometimes stall out. I'm thinking that's the point, because to have something we on satellite and all this other stuff, I'm saying, out in the atmosphere. Some people don't know where internet comes from. Possibly a spaceship come crashing through. That is off the hook. If I was sitting here and all of a sudden a spaceship comes crashing through. What? Let me click this right quick. But yeah, that girl staying at the facility, Angelica Flores, you still want to question either way. You just do. You just because she left out a facility, because a person will say, well, yeah, she was at a juvenile facility, so she was trying to run away because she didn't want to be there. That's in effect almost like escaping jail, leaving out of a juvenile facility without being welcome to leave out of jail, or say officer or whoever or whatever officer, right, taking you out or letting you go out or whatever, letting you leave or whatever. You're in fact escaping jail, which is what Angelica Flores has did in a sense. But she was still going to school, which means she still had free time enough to get around, even around a party scene and all the rest. So that's why you would in fact question. That's why I have to leave that there. I can't take that down just because somebody might say, well, the reason more than likely she left the shelter care, juvenile facility could be because she didn't want to be there. Well, that could be so, but there could be still more. There could be more. There could be a party scene where it still ties back to JHOLIE. We don't even know. So you want to leave that there. Because even people that be in juvenile shelter care, juvenile centers or whatever type of way they have access, as if they're allowed to leave or go out whatever time of day or have to report back, because that's almost like a shelter as well, right? A facility like that is to say you still got access to leave, possibly a curfew and all the rest, but that's still to say you may or may not have access to parties. And if you don't with that, going out to Norfolk or anything like that. If you don't with that, that's still to say you got access to live human breathing individuals, and possibly even connection with somebody connected to a JHOLIE MOUSSA. That's why you want to leave that there. I'm not going to take that down. That has to say, stay. He's not crazy. He's a psycho ex-girlfriend, a tender killer. Was I reading that yesterday? I think I read that yesterday. Because sometimes in my free time, I try not to get too carried away with eating up all my free time. As in, you should take a break as in your free time and not be thinking about all this. And yet I did not say that. That's how I relax in my free time. Is I, yes, get into delve into everything of what I already do with discovery, right? I'm known to eat up my free time in that with this. Oh, I'm so hot. That is so too much. The internet is such a killer's dream. Snapchat, you got Tinder, you got all this other stuff, right? Being on the internet is in fact the playground of murderers, because it's the easiest way, such as a prey, of luring people out of their homes, and they just don't know that you're doing that sort of thing. That is off the hook. See that title? That is completely off the hook. Those type of people you in fact want to stay away from. And which I do. See, because look, you got to understand. You must understand. In order to have ties and connections and all the rest, my own, and what I serve pertaining to my own and discovery and all the rest, right? It's to say you in fact will want to have a gun there, as in a 9mm and all the rest pertaining to what you're speaking and disclosing and talking on. You don't ever want to set foot on nobody's camera sitting up here talking about crime and who has did what and not be packing yourself. That ain't gonna work. That ain't gonna ever work, because at any time somebody could take the time and try to lure you out of your house while you sitting up here on discovery and serving them and all the rest and do whatever with your body. So yes, I in fact be packing. Mad packing. Almost like a semi truck packing. I packs, let me tell you, which is why my mom, Medea up above, Oprah would in fact agree with that herself. Don't know, does anybody know that Oprah in fact carry a knife? Yes, she does. Go ask her. Oprah Winfrey in fact carries knives, because at any time any stalker type of fan could try to hug her or something else, and there you go. You in fact want to have a knife on you just in case. You got to be packing when you're dealing with these type of things. Who don't know that? That's not gonna work. That's not gonna. I can't sit nowhere doing that. So soft spoken and gentle spoken, talking about crime, knowing at any time I could be led out the four walls of my house. Oh hell no. Because see, there's a meet and greet in that, as in people wanting to meet you and all that other stuff, knowing that you work and serve for discovery. So you in fact have to have something there, such as myself having something, being armed. That's just common sense. That's completely common sense. That is not going to work. I can't. I can't sit close anywhere to death and all the rest and not be packing something. That ain't gonna work. Dear Discovery, they know. What was that? You see that? Go back. I thought because see, I be looking up all type of stuff in the Google search. I have to. That's the point, right? And yet I was like, what was that? If you don't know about investigation discovery, some people don't. Some people, in fact, do not watch investigation discovery, and yet they should. They should. This is to give you a little bit of information. Remember, Wikipedia is not always precise. And yet corporate and all the rest, when it comes to editing, figure it out. Corporate does a lot of things, even in the editing and all that other stuff. So I think that is all to be said about this. That Angelica Flores, she more than likely didn't do it, and yet once again you still would want to ask, because that's just precise. You don't want to overlook anything, because to be overlooking stuff too much, and when stuff happens, to overlook stuff too much is how mystery is not resolved, as in how cases in fact go unresolved, is what I'm trying to say. So it helps to pay attention even to your surroundings. So we're right here on the investigation discovery. Yes, this is in fact the home page. Yes, it is. Investigation discovery. As in individuals, I'm in fact forwarding as in what you need to see yourself. All lovely packages of all kind is in fact what we sell. If Evil Lives Here. Anybody watch that? It's a dope show. Dearest surveillance tape. I'm saying Evil Lives Here. That's funny. The Perfect Murder. Did I post that on Twitter yesterday? Or did I post a link? I can't even remember. The Perfect Murder. American Monster. Still a mystery. The most evil ranked. If you don't have Discovery Go app, you might in fact want to download that. Despite I'm not gonna speak on that, but yeah, this is my dude right here. That's my other daddy right there, Lieutenant Joe Kenda. You don't know who that is? Brother is fine, ain't he? Hell, Dr. Phil is. Dear Dr. Phil. Yes, the homicide hunter. With Lieutenant Joe Kenda. The ladies love Lieutenant Joe Kenda, because the ladies in fact love bad boys. Who didn't know that either? Ladies in fact get tripped up. Yes, as in he in fact tripped their trigger, if you know what I'm saying. Dear the secret on that, as in what ladies love to see, Lieutenant Joe Kenda himself. We got unlocked episodes. Yes, someone you thought you knew. You in fact want to check that out. Dark Waters. Murder in the Deep. One of these days I'm in fact going to go much more deeper, as in go all the way in on, yes, Investigation Discovery website, so that you can fully see that. Somebody on the team has to do that, as in it should have been done, and yet to not is to do even that properly to show off. There's certain things, Bad Henry. This is a good one, Bad Henry. It just scrolled past. There's certain things when it comes to corporate in a corporate office and all the rest you try to do. Even when I spoke about local news, how you can't do everything and yet you can. I'm saying you can assign teams of people. But see, usually people ain't gonna wanna. This is why sometimes stuff is not like that, right? Pertaining to what I'm speaking on, or why you don't have this there, why you don't have that there, whatever tends to be missing, and yet how I use my free time. This is why a lot of times corporates or corporate offices and headquarters and corporations don't do stuff like that, because see, most people that go to work, when they go to work and they get off of work, they just want to come home and relax, right? Their mind has been set in that, as in there's no changing the ways in that, as in when you go to work, you too come home, and you don't want to be all doing stuff like this in your free time. People get off of work, they don't want to do all that extra stuff, right? And so it would help a corporate to assign people to do that type of thing. Right. And so, and me saying that, I'm speaking about not just Discovery, I'm speaking about all type of corporate offices. You know, ain't nobody gonna want to go to work and then work that many hours and then come home and still be working some more hours, which is why you don't see that sort of thing there, right? But it's still good to place it there, because my free time is done completely abundantly, as in when I do things, and it should. When I see that something's missing, I in fact use my resources and use them properly. Even you know, if any corporate don't want me to say this or don't say that, oh my gosh, don't do this and don't be zigzagging and all the rest, because there's supposed to be organization in that. And to be free to go is to do whatever you choose, as in I will, even when I'm told what not to do. Murder comes to town. You might want to see that. Investigation discovery is dope. Let me tell you, women are in fact drawn to bad boys. Yes, they are. Which is why the huge demographic behind who's watching a lot of this is in fact women. It is. It's the demographic, as in who's watching what, as in what's coming on a TV screen and who's tuning in. The large percentage, yes, is in fact females, women, grown women. You got ages 25 to 54. 25 to 54, don't hit the flow on that, right? But yeah, the largest population is in fact women tuning into this. It is in fact real. Evil lives here after the evil. Women in prison, real talk. See, this is my type of thing. To have a daddy go dying in jail is to just say out that, as in me being a real species of what I am. I have no connections and ties to the streets. I don't. And yet I still know his grown men friends, as in what they do, despite many of them have in fact left the streets and grow up. I'm saying there's a growing up process in everything you do, as in what to put away once you grow up. Not everybody do, right? I got gum all on my hands now. It's all on the Mac. I shouldn't have did that. See that gum? I said, let me put my gum, let me sit it down, that way you guys ain't hearing me chew. And I put it on the top of my Mac, and now it's all over my hands. And because a Mac done get hot like a heater, it gets hot like a heater. Now the gum is all on the Mac. That is sad. That shows no common sense on my end today. Because when I delve in deep, it's to say I don't care what happens. Shouts out to my other daddy right there, Sugar Cane. I gotta in fact give Lieutenant Joe Kenda a nickname. I think that will work. Sugar Cane. Sugar Cane. Sugar Cane Daddy. Daddy Sugar Cane. I love that dude. I don't know why that is. His percentile of solving crimes, I spoke about that. The closing rate of that 92%, that's a high figure in itself. Even he is. Murder calls, 911 tapes. Disappeared, gone in an instant. That's a show many people in fact will want to, because I'm speaking on that sort of thing right now. It all ties in. It's owned by Discovery. Anything that I do, that's why I can't make profit and make money off of YouTube, because remember, anything that when I use the logo of Discovery, and despite me doing whatever in my free time, is to say once I still upload this is in fact owned by Discovery. That's common sense in itself. It's called a skill. Put it to work. I'm saying anybody could do whatever or say whatever, right, pertaining to them. Say, oh, can you do this? Can you do that? It's still owned, yes, and backed by Discovery, because the logo is there. And yet I'm in my free time. I hop on and off whenever I choose and say what I feel. The missing pieces. Kathleen Peterson's. But yes, disappeared, gone in an instant. This is a concise look, yes, into the haunting circumstances surrounding. You got missing people in that. That's why you want to tune in to Disappeared. Did I not pop that logo up above? I think I did that for Asia Degree case when I was making the videos pertaining to her having a look-alike. Disappeared. You in fact want to tune in to this. Yes, you do. If you don't already do. There's a lot of goods on here. Yes, it is. Deadly Women. My strange criminal addiction, right? You want to tune into that as well. Got show schedules and everything else, previews. You got the crime feed news. Didn't I just take you to the crime feed? We was just on the crime feed by Discovery, but to tie it all in is to make sure that you have it in various locations, because see, many individuals that have the app. Let me see how bright my phone is, because I got all Discovery apps on my phone. I do. You got ID Go, the app, right? You got Discovery Go. I was going to show that. That's why I pulled it up on my phone. I was going to show it. But I usually keep my phone dim. I keep my phone, the background lighting on my phone, I keep it dim because that conserves battery. So if I was to show you on my phone, you wouldn't be able to see it. I'm not going to turn it up. But yet, you want to, in fact, have, make sure you get the ID Go app as well as Discovery Go app. And possibly all the rest, right? And so, and me saying that you want to have the crime feed such as this on here. This is a branding. You don't want just the crime feed over there in one location and then not have it right here. Because this all points into as well. Because remember, investigation discovery, it involves crime. And so some people that go on the crime feed, many people don't even know about the crime feed. They don't. It's on Twitter and everything where you can follow, right? But some people don't know about the crime feed, but they know about this. Investigation Discovery, yes.com. They know about this, and so you want to make sure the crime feed is here with that in the full package. Because that's to say it's a full meal. You don't ever want to leave anything out. Yes, Lieutenant Joe Kenda, in fact, has a book. You might want to check that out. It's called I Will Find You. He's mentioning you, and there's in fact a buy where you can buy. That boy is bad. That's why the ladies love him. He's in completely bad, right? But he's bad in a good way. The newsletter is down here. It can be found below. Yes, it is. I was going to scroll down, but I can't go down any further. I'm saying I can go down further, but you won't be able to see it because how I got everything squared away, squared up on my screen. You ain't going to be able to see it. Show schedules. That is in fact right there. TV schedules. When people say, well, what time is this coming on and what time is that coming on? If you zoom on either or, that is going to in fact light up. Which is the point. It's to light up the glow up. To let you know you're hoovering over it. Show schedules is there. When you click over, it is going to in fact roll over. And so I think that is all to be said. When you click up at the top, if you go way up at the top on here, there would in fact be the crime feed. Let me look for it. Oh, I'm sitting right. If you click, it's going to in fact direct you to the crime feed. You see that? It just while you're on investigationdiscovery.com, if you click the crime feed, is going to in fact forward you to the crime feed, the actual, yes, forwarding process. You in fact want everything when you're branding something. You don't want to leave and miss anything out. And this is the crime feed. I took you there earlier. So let me exit out of that. So yes, live now is in fact this. Look, if you go up, you see right there, live now is in fact disappeared. Wasn't I just speaking about that? That is in fact why I'm sitting here right now. Because a link up on that is to be precise, as in you're saying what you know is playing and when. I'm sitting right here. Disappeared is live now. It's about missing persons and all the rest, right? Missing person cases, and yet it's live now, right? And so that's why I'm on here in the moment, because the matchup is to pull a card, and I just did, and even that with possibly blood streaks. I'm just saying. But yeah, I'll be back on even that. I want you, the viewer, to tell me what you think and you sense and you believe about not only JHOLIE Moussa's case, because I'm gonna examine that even further, but question I want you, the viewer, even to spend time questioning why could Angelica Flores have left that juvenile center, because there's more to that. Either she no longer wanted to be there and stay, or there has to be more to that pertaining to her connections and maybe her not even saying, even whether it was a real war gang relation that she was tied to or not. There's more that Angelina or Angelica, I keep saying Angelina, I want to say Angelina. There's more that Angelica Flores is not saying and possibly didn't tell police. Because to know that you're a part of something such as a gang is to know you're too close to that. And then once police come up after you supposedly faked a missing persons report, Angelica did herself, right? It's to say, what all you're not going to tell to police as they're standing there. Because even gang members have been known and prone to go to jail once it's found out by police that you done been in some other crime mess and mystery and all the rest. Gang ties and gang relations and gang affiliations. There's in fact murders and all that goes into that, which is why when gang members supposedly make a fake missing persons report, right, and it is now detected that they were like not missing to begin with, they're alive, it's to say who all they done killed in that. Which is why you want to in fact question Angelica Flores, because people in fact get killed, and yet sometimes other peoples that get killed, the innocent people that get killed in all this gang stuff that was just on the outside of the gang, it's to question even Angelica Flores. To revert back to history is to say, as in what I just did, questioning when people die and be left off in some woods. You'll never know who did what. So yeah, I'll be back on even that, and I'm gone. Hi.